fine. Mike's in the box. All right. How long has this been, Mike?
Can I borrow some fingers?
Long time. As you can see.
2 birthdays.
You've had 2 birthdays since we worked on this?
Yes, I think.
Really?
I don't know, I give it 2 a year.
Well, that's technically only a year, so...
Yeah, at this age you get 2 a year.
Yeah. Hi everybody, we're back. And tonight we decided to work on the Mini, which is covered in a lot of parts and stuff.
We're working on the workbench.
Working on the workbench, which resembles a Mini. Yeah, so long story short, myself and Mike lost all motivation for this car because it's just quite daunting.
There's
pretty
a lot
much
to do.
There's a lot to do.
And it's stuff we've never done.
Yeah, yeah.
Piping builds, engine builds, stuff like that. That engine swaps, easy.
Yeah.
Panel steel?
Yeah. Panel steel is a different thing altogether. In fact, part of the reason it's been on hold is because I kind of wanted to learn more about panel steel and I wanted to invest in machinery to allow me to do this myself, but the reality of that scenario is it's
for the amount that tooling's going to cost, is it paying for at least half of someone to do it out of composite.
Yeah, basically, and we can do the composite ourselves for the most part.
Can we?
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Cool.
So I've done fiberglassing before. I haven't made like a buck or anything or a thing, but it's easy enough to do. Yeah. So where we're at is I looked into buying the machinery, the equipment to do the metalworking for the guards. Reality of it is I would need at least a $4,000 investment in machinery, and I'm talking entry-level stuff to be able to have the ability to give it a go, right?
Yeah.
That's just to give it a go. That's not saying that we wouldn't have to make it 12 times to get it right.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, if that was the case, what?
I don't know how to say this without saying dodgy, but or would the tooling have a deep enough throat to do what we need to do?
Well, that's the other thing. Like, it's all entry-level stuff, right? Exactly. It's not like...
It's hobbyist.
It's hobbyist stuff at best. And although, yes, this is technically hobbyist, it's still a large investment to make. And then, so today I went and spoke to a local place that makes like custom metal guards, and they do a lot of metal work and all that sort of stuff, like old American cars. And long story short, the guy was really, really nice, been at Alpine, and he just basically put it to me straight and said, look, realistically, for him to do that for us, it would be starting at around $15,000 to $20,000 to do all 4 guards, and that's, yeah.
You're lucky I'm sitting down.
Yeah, and to be honest, like knowing what I know in terms of what I do day to day, I know that that's not going to stop there. I know that it's going to turn into something bigger than what they think it is. So here we are back at the drawing board essentially. We've changed tact. Now we're looking at doing composite, and composite isn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the metal work for several reasons. One, longevity. It's simply going to last longer with tyres and stuff like that exploding, because it's going to happen. No, but in all honesty, I figured it would last longer and better in the elements and all that sort of stuff once you seal it up and whatnot, whereas fiberglass and carbon always tends to turn to rubbish, like long term on like weathered guards and stuff like that. Even when you sort of paint it, the water can...
My TRD whiteboard has been on my Supra for going on 20 years.
Okay, all right. I'm just going off experience of my own car parts and stuff. But anyway,
your car's also done more kilometers than mine have.
Yeah,
mine's
probably.
in a shed.
Yeah. Anyway, moving back to the guards. So we can buy the materials. We're already halfway there with the guards. So we need some expanding foam. We could get some high density foam to do things, but I think we'll try it with the expanding foam first and see how we go with that. So it'll be, process would be expanding foam, shape it, apply body filler, shape that, and then we can take a mold off it, and then we can make a guard, and then we can make a plug off that. So that's kind of the process, and that's still a lot more cost effective that way. Now, why do I not want to spend lots of money on this car? This is the bargain bin car. This was supposed to be the car that...
This gets the used rotors.
This gets the used parts of the used parts.
Yeah.
You know, like the only new parts that we put on this car so far is the steel, because that's kind of what needs to happen, right?
You've got to buy steel.
Got to buy steel. So that's like the chassis rails, the rear guards, and all that sort of stuff. Everything else has been second hand to this point.
Except the wheels.
Oh, the wheels. Sorry, yes,
Yes.
the wheels are new. Yeah.
But you got them at a steel, so that's...
But yeah, I got them at a real good price. But anyway, but for the theme of this car, thank you. The theme of this car is it's supposed to be a budget build.
I don't even think that's a theme. I think it's a necessity.
I have 4 projects, as I keep stating. You know, I've got another one there, the FD. That's one of them. I've got my...
About that.
Oh, yeah, sure. I've got a plethora of new parts for that, but that's another video in itself. Bloody horns. My Skyline outside, and then my Subaru as well. So that's 4 cars, and the Subaru was supposed to get the hand-me-downs, and then this gets the hand-me-downs of the hand-me-downs. So that's the thing. Anyway, so what we need to do tonight is, firstly, because this has been sitting for, what, almost 2 years?
Probably a year and a bit.
A year and a bit? Okay, sweet. Regardless, we've just piled stuff on it in it, so we need to clear this stuff out. Let's get this cleared out, and let's get this guards underway.
Move that
Oh
bus!
my god, please, you didn't.
I did.
Yeah, so we've already made the templates for the guards for the other side. I've got some steel. We can go and cut those out in the pattern, and then chop them out of the steel, and then we can start stitching onto the car, and then hopefully tonight we'll have another rear guard on the other side. That's really
Tonight.
optimistic. Super
You bring the meth.
super optimistic, Mike.
I'll say we'll be bringing-
Okay, we'll do something. But yeah, we've got steel if we get to that point, and yeah.
Yep.
So let's first of all get this all cleared out, or at least so that we can work on the car, and then yeah, we'll get into it. All right, Michael. Yeah, watch out for that. You'll cut yourself.
Yeah, we...
Cool. All right. Well, we can pretty much leave this here, right? We don't need to move it for this exercise. But I think what we need to do is think about our plan for what this is supposed to look like. The other great thing about doing this with the expanding foam and body filler is that we can actually get all of these. You guys can't see this, but there's little ripples where we've put this in the press brake. There's little ripples in it, and that way we can get rid of all of that, and we can actually shape these a lot easier.
Yeah, rather than the English wheel.
Yeah, I mean, ideally keeping it steel would be awesome, but I think having these also pure carbon, that's going to look pretty nice. But now we've got to look at also preparing this for putting foam and whatever else on, so that when we pull it off, it's not going to completely wreck everything. So I'm not sure how we go about that, whether we just cover it in tape or...
It's going to paint it, which is a pretty thin surface.
Yeah, but we don't want the stick. That foam, it sticks real bad. So if we put it to the tape and then pull it off, it's just going to pull the tape off.
That's fine.
That's fine. I think what we do is let's just try and use our noggins, prep this as best as possible. If you want, we can even start putting expanding foam on this tonight.
Yeah.
So I have to go get some.
Yeah, you go do that, I'll start putting this off.
Okay. What? Wait, what? So, just a disclaimer, we have no idea what we're doing at this point. Would that be accurate, Mike?
I know exactly what we're doing.
I know what we're doing.
I know exactly what we're doing.
We don't know what we should be doing.
Sending it.
Sending it, yeah, that's pretty much what we do. So, we find out by trial and error, and it's usually error in this department. So, yeah, let's get the wheels covered up.
No, it's not error, it's just not the right way to do it.
We need the wheels covered up and some sheet on the ground so that when this foam starts expanding, we're safe from the aids. Yeah, sweet. So, yeah, be with us. Alrighty, we are almost ready, Michael. I better read the instructions for this stuff.
Michael.
Alright. Fills big holes and cavities.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're using this stuff. Never used it before on a vehicle.
He's using it on big cavities though.
Shake can vigorously for 60 seconds. Well, no one ever does that, surely.
I mean, 60 seconds is a long
Don't
time.
over tighten the cap.
60 seconds is a long time.
It is. Should I time?
I think you should.
Alright.
1 minute later.
Alright, so I don't know how thick it's going to lay on.
So question, where do we need it the thickest?
Probably on the top of the guard.
Okay, hit there first.
So yeah, I was going to just layer the top because this is our fixing zone, right? We actually don't really need anything on here.
Yeah, we can fiberglass up to here.
Yeah, so I was thinking about just having it so this is our...
We'll put everything in here.
Yeah, so the question is, do we want this part accentuated or do we want this to flow up onto that top edge?
I think flowing would look just the business, but in saying that nothing on this is flowing.
But it does sit at the top of the guard. See how that goes up to the window?
Yeah.
There's actually no, you know what I mean? So I think if we build it up, and it might actually look way better.
Well, we can always take it off.
We can. All right, without further ado. Run away! Ooh. Ooh. Here we go.
You need a weave on that.
A what?
You need a weave.
A weave?
Yeah.
We're going to weave it?
Yeah.
Like that? Ooh. Like that?
Yeah. Why is it not sticking?
It is. It's just... Maybe it doesn't like the metal.
Are you going full send with the screw thing?
It's quite sticky. Maybe we're supposed to rough up the surface before.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it wants to stick.
Well,
I think we stop there.
stop there, I'll
Yep.
pull it off and then... What does that screen look like? Is it the right position? Or?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a good photo of you and eye contact, just shaking wrists, aiming at your mouth. That's so bad. That's prime for Photoshop. Yeah. Shaking the ball like the activated ball.
What's the activator ball? This one's got no ball. That's about a minute.
No, we've been recording for 54 seconds and I started before that, so that's... Oh yeah, look at that technique. That one's sticking.
Yeah. I think we just need a rough surface. Okay, so now that our first stage of arts and crafts has been completed, now the pavlova has been left to cure overnight.
Technically it's a meringue.
It's a meringue?
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, so now we move on to this side where Mike has, like, thankfully gotten these bits of metal ready. So, moving right along, we need to get this panel steel onto the side of here. So that means that we have to prep some of the stuff to get it ready.
Prep.
But I think what we should do first is let's do what we didn't do the last time and cover the windows and tail lights and stuff like that now.
You thinking? It's almost like you fucked this up before.
What do you want? What? Oh, g'day team, it's another day and I wanted to get more done on this before I finished editing the video, or started editing the video. Just so at the end of it I had a bit more to show than what we did last night, because this is as far as we got. So we got this tacked on to a point, but there's a bit of work left to go. And this side we had to let sit overnight for all this foam to do its thing. So here we are. My plan tonight, so that I've got something to show you all, is try and get some of this shaved down and get somewhat of the shape into the car. Now this is the first rendition of this, and I need to reiterate, I have never done this before, so it may turn out well, it may not, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to get stuck into it and see how it turns out. So I may not be happy with the shape after it, I may be happy with the shape after it, who knows, but let's find out and let's get into it. Done about as much as I feel comfortable with doing tonight. I've got to do some extra filling of holes, so I might see if there's some goo left that's usable in the cans from last night, and just hopefully I don't have to buy a whole new can. But I've got the rough shape of it, so now's the point I have to figure out what definitions I want. For example, how do I want the wheel arches to look? Because just having this as a flat panel isn't really going to do what I want it to. So if you look at these pictures here, there is a very clear definition of guard. Now I know that we're not going to be able to replicate this to the letter, but I think what I try to do, now if this will let me draw here, so if I come from here and bring it up, see if I can draw, come up here a little bit more, just to give you an idea of what I'm after. Okay, so you can see that outline of a wheel arch, right? And then I kind of want to have, like, you know, like in factory cars, how you'll have like a 25mm lip. So I want a bit of a lip around here, right? So if I go like that, so a bit of a lip around there, and then I want that to angle in a little bit, and then this guy is going to angle in even more. So what I'm trying to envisage is you're going to have two very clear definition lines that go around here, and then this side, I'm not sure how I can do that, but this side basically This will have, how can I do this? This across here will have a definitive line across here, right, through there. And then this area here will be scalloped in a little bit, so sort of just to help the airflow, and then that'll whip off. Or I might just see what it looks like to have that ridge line through there, and then that sort of just blend into the door. And then this guy here, I definitely want to have this ridge line through here, so much like the original one. However, I want it to taper down. God, that looks horrible. I want it to taper down at the back like in those photos. So you see here, it sort of whips back and down. I kind of want that look. I don't know if I can achieve that. There's a lot going on. These guards, they want to be a certain shape. And so for us to be able to do this, it might look a bit funky just having this section here sort of on an angle, and then yeah, it might just be easier to just have a slight taper in from this edge here, and then that goes onto the top and then that tapers out. I mean, I've got a little bit of room to move on that for shaping, so we'll see how we go. So yeah, anyway, that's about where I'm at for now. I think I've done pretty well tonight. It just, seeing this has actually given me a little bit more motivation, but I can also tell that this isn't going to be a 5-minute thing. I can tell that this is going to have to be, you know, a few renditions, or at least a few goes at getting it to look right, because I still don't know in my head what that is going to be. And obviously the vehicle of photos that I have from renders, it's a different body altogether, so the shapes aren't necessarily going to work. But I will try my best to give it the shape that I'm after. But yeah, I'm sort of, in a way, I'm kind of glad of going down this road, because it means it's given me a little bit more freedom to make shapes that otherwise would be very hard to make in steel, or at least make them look good in steel. Whereas this, I can smooth everything, you know, I can get everything looking good relatively easy with, you know, a rasp and a wood saw. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this journey to see like how it turns out, and time will tell. So I can whittle away with it at night until I get the look that I want. I may not record all of it, but at least I'll record some of it, and then hopefully in the weeks to come we'll start to see it's taking a bit more shape and some more definition in terms of the lines and stuff that I'm after. But hey, we'll see how we go. And in the meantime, watch our other videos, and like our content if you like it, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and we will see you around next time.